The Indiana Fever hosting the New York Fever and the defending champion Liberty.
When they do it, they cannot.
Starting lineups, and for New York,
Play the 4 spot now.
And we start our contest where they set the WNBA single game record for most made threes. Ionescu dumps it off to Jones, up and under, and an excellent finish.
New York is such a good passing team, and they do a great job clearing out the side and letting Jones go in the pick and roll game.
And now you see Phoebish starting off on Caitlin Clark. New York was pretty coy about how they would defend her. Boston, the roll, the catch, and puts it in for 2.
When Clark and Boston play through the middle third with shooters in the corner, that is so dangerous to try to defend. Really good read by Boston.
You talked about it. That's where you want to see the Fever operate, where you feel they're going to have the most success. When we talked to Caitlin Clark, she said early in the season with the new pieces, it's a matter of everybody finding their role. Ionescu, another dish. Jones muscles it in. 2 more for her.
So back-to-back layups for the Liberty to start the game. Really good execution by them, and you'd expect that out of a veteran team.
Now Cloud picks up Clark full court as she initiates the half-court offense. Crossover move by Clark. Thought about the step back. Boston this time driving to the paint, and an easy 2.
Aaliyah Boston's decision-making has been so good. She's good in the short roll. She's good with putting it on the bounce. She can make plays.
Stewart pump fake, and it opens up like the Red Seas as she gallops to the lane for the lay-in.
3 right-handed layups. That's not something Stephanie White's going to be pleased about.
Here's Mitchell sprinting down the floor. Can't get the layup. Jones controls it up ahead to Ionescu. Sabrina short on the jumper.
Well, you want to make Sabrina dribble into her shots if possible.
Mitchell gets behind the secondary and puts it in.
And Jordan, that's why it's so important for Caitlin Clark to be on the glass, because when she rebounds, her eyes immediately go up the court. She sees 9 players. So good at reading the D.
Kelsey Mitchell, an all-star the last 2 years. You feel she might be the fastest player in the W.
I don't think there's anybody quicker with the ball in the league than Kelsey Mitchell.
Jones already with 6 points and draws the foul. The foul's on Natasha Howard, her first. Jones steps to the line. No good on the free throw attempt.
Remember, New York is coming off a game where they set the WNBA single season record. They made 19 triples against Chicago in the last game. And New York likes to switch 1 through 5.
And Mitchell took her eyes off the ball. A bit of a late pass coming in from Clark, just finding their timing and rhythm. Jones, the 3, no good. Clark, another board.
New York is doing a really good job of getting into the vision of Caitlin Clark early.
Clark steps on the gas, goes. Things opened up for Caitlin Clark, so she steps to the line, adds some tip to the bill. An old-fashioned 3-point play gives the Fever a 1-point advantage.
Caitlin Clark is looking to score in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. And if it doesn't happen, they can run their actions.
Clark had just 11 points in the road victory over Atlanta. Did not have a 3 for the first time in 140 games. It's Cloud off target. Howard this time initiates the break. Howard stepping right through the defense and a heartbreaker at the rim. Cloud up ahead, 2-on-1 opportunity. Stewart, catch, finish. Excellent footwork there.
Yeah, really good push by New York. Look how quickly they get the ball up the floor off the outlet. And Natasha Cloud finding Stewart.
Boston trying to roll, can't handle the catch, and that'll sail out of bounds. And that's going to be a foul on Howard, and that is her 2nd personal. So we're not even 4th leading scorer. Cloud cross-court pass. Ionescu, open 3 on target. And Hull able to scoop up the rebound.
Really good job to get out and contest that basketball through.
Well, you
what a
see
great
the
pass.
Chemistry they developed after a full season together. Cloud barreling towards the cup, and a late whistle for the Liberty. They gave up 2 first-round draft picks, and it wasn't just about the fit on the floor, but also off the floor and the chemistry and the identity of this team that she has already attached herself to.
Well, she's leading the team in scoring, and I think it's not just her offense, mostly for championship season last year, but she's a tremendous on-ball defender, one of the better defending guards in the league.
A couple of screens for Clark. She thought about it. Give and go with Boston. Nearly poked away by Jones this time. Cloud gets the hands up, and Cloud forces the turnover. Liberty back the other way. For the first time in this game, things slow down.
Indiana did a good job communicating their switches right there.
Cloud, the drive, the dish blocked by Boston. And then a collision gets Stewart with the rebound, and she pushes the pace. Jones loses it behind the back. It's a 2-on-2 break. Hull trying to attack Cloud, spinning. Hull elevates and puts it down.
That's a big time steal and bucket by Lexi Hull.
Confident play by her as well, too. Back to Stewart, and there is the unselfish play of the New York Liberty.
Well, again, shooters in the corner. They have the defense spread out, operating in the middle third. And that's an important call.
I don't know how you guys would handle that with your spouses.
Well, it's good that one of them's on offense, the other one's on defense. I'll tell you this much, Zane was the star of the shoot-around yesterday, as Bonner no good on her, too.
That's kind of the way my marriage is, too. I'm on offense, and he's always on defense.
All I know is I'm out of my league in mine, I'll put it that way. So here we go, New York back on the other end. They're shooting 60% from the field, essentially.
And she can shoot the three. She's a career 36% three-point shooter.
Stewart right down the middle. And later today on CBS Sports Network, Paige Becker's in Dallas, on the road at Atlanta. Thursday, Dallas at Chicago. Then on Friday, Connecticut at Indiana. And then Los Angeles at Las Vegas. It was interesting when we talked to Breanna Stewart yesterday. And for more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. But when we talked to Stewart yesterday, the championship mindset here for the Liberty, they feel like there's no hangover from last year. This is a very hungry team that has their eyes on repeating.
Well, it's about culture, and they know that they have added some really good pieces. Every team goes through adversity in this league because the league is so good. And you have to have the right character around you to be able to get through it, and the talent.
And a three is good for the Liberty as Sabrina Ionescu knocks it down. So 6-point advantage for New York, their largest lead of the afternoon. Bonner had some airspace. This time gets it down low to Boston. Boston pivoting against Stewart, goes off the glass.
Early in the game, Breanna Stewart's going to show some discipline there and not try to block that shot, but if she stays foul-free as the game goes on, she'll be more of a presence at the rim.
Stewart lost it off her foot. Sabrina scoops it up, 10 to shoot with Boston on her, tries to take her into the deep end, launches another triple, and the former Duck buries it.
Sabrina Ionescu has the WNBA record for most threes in a season, 128. She can shoot it.
And Cloud all over Caitlin Clark. That's her 4th turnover already. And the Liberty bring it back down the floor. Cunningham, Stewart get a little tank. Just the first quarter as the first free throw short. The Fever were last in the association last year. So how do you start correcting some of the things you're seeing here in the first quarter?
Well, ball pressure is the first thing, and sprinting back to your matchups and transition, so you try to get matched up early so you can have who you want defending their personnel. They went through a really detailed defensive scout yesterday.
Clark, a tough bucket, and Gardner seeing some early minutes, and Clark with another 3-point play. She's got 6 here in the first quarter, and we're already seeing a lot of screens deep in the backcourt to try and free open these point guards.
Well, Indiana has played this season with a lot more pressure in the backcourt, and part of that is because they have more depth.
Jones, another easy catch and finish, and to your point, those right-handed layups.
I mean, they have 9 baskets, and I have them unofficially with 7 right-handed layups.
Oh, Clark found a hole in the defense. Bonner with the steal. Hall with another triple. Straight points for Lexi Hall. Ionescu trying to draw the foul and is able to do so. First free throw coming here for Sabrina. Well, tomorrow at 10 Eastern, Gear Wave go head-to-head with the Courage over on CBS Sports Network. Second free throw is good for Sabrina, and you noticed something about her immediately when we saw her shoot around yesterday.
I could tell her fitness, her off-season work. She said October 20th she took a break. Beginning of November she was back in the weight room.
She talked about doing a lot of cardio, wanted to be bulletproof, and so far, Leah Boston's been bulletproof to start this game.
Well, Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands more in the first quarter to start this game than she did against the Atlanta team.
And that's going to be an offensive foul against Bonner. Another backcourt steal. Bonner this time picks up the foul. So a wily play from the veteran.
This is Bonner playing the 4 spot, which I think is a more natural.
That Indiana retooled this roster. Bringing in this experience is so important. Well, it all comes down to this. See Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, now playing only in theaters. Impressive for both of them.
Such great length, such incredible longevity, and a 2-time WNBA champion. Part of the pedigree and the culture that Indiana's trying to continue to build here off their 2012 title behind Tamika Catchings.
Also nice for Bonner because she has struggled with her scoring the last couple of games, and that's going to be a foul against James in double figures coming off a 17-point performance against Chicago in that.
In the offseason.
And that's what you see with the Liberty, is just the depth that they show. Every player stepping on seems to know their role and can confidently do it.
Well, they made some offseason moves, and Benijah Laney, Hamilton not available. She got injured in the offseason.
Cunningham turns the corner and scoops it in. So 5 points off the bench for Sophie Cunningham, her second game back from an early season ankle injury. Burke this time trying to feed it down low, and Ionescu, 6 to shoot, draws 3 defenders.
So good. I mean, sets up her ability off the bounce. Already has knocked down a couple of triples. You got to bring the long close out and make her dribble into her shots. But she's worked on that mid-range. She told us yesterday, and you saw it right there.
Here's Burke, the switch onto Clark. Clark trying to dance one-on-one. Burke, Clark, step back 3. Clark still looking for her first 3 since 2 games ago against Atlanta. Burke will try the triple, and Burke, a huge 3 right in front of her own bench, and the Liberty take the lead.
She's 7 for 8 on the season outside the arc. Wow, that's an off-season improvement for you.
It was 4 of 4 in that game against Chicago, so all of a sudden an offensive weapon in Kennedy Burke coming off the bench. Cunningham cutting. Cunningham lost control, couldn't get rid of the.
I watched synergy on all those 19 made threes. 8 different players made a 3. 7 of those 3s were set up by getting a piece of the paint.
Kelsey Mitchell back in the game, goes right by Stewart. Will draw the foul.
She appeared to be grimacing a little bit, kind of clenching her fist a lot, but when Coach Brondello walked down to check on her, she gave her the thumbs up, so perhaps we'll see her go back in this game, guys.
Thank you, Tiffany and Phoebish. Mitchell re-signed in January on that 1-year Supermax. And as we mentioned, 10th in the MVP voting. Last year's been an all-star the last couple of years, and her continued development has been huge for the Fever. Cloud this time, well defended by Boston. Hull trying to post up Jones, and an excellent pass and catch as Jones gets 2 more.
So smart. Natasha Cloud manipulates that switch and then allows Jonquel Jones to get that post-up lob position.
Jones now one of 3 Liberty players in double figures. Hull no good at the cup, and Cloud will initiate the break.
Natasha Cloud, a big point guard, physical, strong, experienced.
Cloud will try the triple and hits it.
You know, the beginning part of her career, everybody went under all those ball screens, and you see she had incredible space there to step into one.
Of New York and their ability to score in the paint as Boston.
New York in a zone, Jordan.
First time we've seen that. They switch it up. Cross-court pass.
They match up.
Here's Howard, 5 to shoot. Howard picks up the dribble, sails the baseline jumper, no good. Sabrina with the rebound.
New York has not played any possessions of zone leading up to today. They show zone, then they quickly pick back up into man.
The Liberty are on a 10-1 run since Phoebish left the game. With that injury, make it 12-1 as Burke gallops to the cup. It's the largest lead of the afternoon for New York.
And half their points are in the paint. Indiana's got to do a better job of protecting inside out.
Cunningham off target. Burke with another rebound, and that is going to be
That's my unofficial count.
Well, they're shooting 14 of 20, Debbie. 70% in this game, and you mentioned all the paint points, and you talked about that's how they pick you apart. They get all those paint touches and put you in tough positions. Cloud hits another three.
What a great skip by Jones. She's got the mismatch, but that's how unselfish they are.
The Fever scoreless in 6 of their last 7 possessions now. Cloud over the top. What a catch by Sabrina as she gets the well so quickly with this New York team.
Yeah, it seems so effortless. She said it was great to come to a team that already had something established, well-oiled, and she's just been able to be herself, and they appreciate that from her. Both Stewie and Sabrina talked to us about how New York has embraced her and that she brings the confidence and the versatility as well as being a great leader for this group.
Mitchell, the baseline catch goes high off the glass, can't get the finish. Cunningham, offensive rebound. Mitchell working the baseline, tough three over the defender, buries it. A much needed bucket for the Fever, and Sabrina right down the court going coast to coast.
Transition defense. You make them take it out of the net, you got to be able to match up quicker.
Ionescu with 15 points. Mitchell patrolling the baseline, trying to eye a hole in the defense. Wants to work it on Jones. Will try another three, in and out. A little friendly fire as 2 Liberty players come crashing into one another, but a foul on the floor whistled against New York. Clark over the top. Boston.
The pass is exactly on the target hand. That action is the best action Indiana has in their offense.
12 points for Boston, 7 assists for Clark. Still a 12-point lead for New York as they shoot a sizzling 74%. Just under 4 minutes left in the first half. Cloud takes the contact and pirouettes to the cup. And she's now the 4th member of the Liberty in double figures.
Well, New York has Indiana all spread.
Really the definition of fearless if you look that up amongst a lot of players. Ionescu curling. Cloud has had the hot hand, gets it down to Jones, defended by Boston, 7 to shoot. Cunningham feints. Cloud, jab step, puts up the 3, and it's short.
In New York, because they've shot it so well, they should be better in their transition defense. They haven't sent anybody to the glass.
And there's Mitchell screaming towards the cup for 2 more. Stewart will launch a tray. And now it's Clark that'll bring it down.
See how they shadow Clark with 6'4", 6'6", and then she gets the matchup she can score on.
Clark, no good. Boston right there to clean it up, and a timeout on the floor.
And you have to take Indiana's transition game away.
Kelsey Mitchell has provided a spark coming back into this game after New York built that lead on a 12-1 run. 10 left to shoot. Ionescu, size 2, drives baseline, has to try to find a safety valve, flips the pass. What a find. Jones poked away by Mitchell. Clark, step back tray. Caitlin Clark still without a 3 in this game. And this time the pass off the backside of Burke. Clark and Stu.
No, she's put the work in. It's going to fall. You got to shoot your way out of it.
We talked to her about what are some of the things some of your mental coaches have told you that have really stuck. She said, I just have to trust how good I am and the fact that I put in the work and keep at it. 3-pointer way off target. And now you've seen a couple of consecutive stops for the Fever.
Now Caitlin's going to wait for Aaliyah Boston here.
Goes over the top. Boston, the catch fading away, goes off the glass.
Really nice job of loading to the strong side and allowing Aaliyah Boston.
One of the early stories, Caitlin Clark still without a 3. She was held without one in their last game against Atlanta, breaking a 140-game streak. Whole corner 3. And how about that start for the Fever?
If you can make New York take it out of the net, you have a better chance in the quarter court, but you've got to protect inside out.
Cuts the lead to 6. And now you're starting to see some of that physicality on display. Ionescu stops on a dime and hits the floater.
I mean, she is so good and very challenging to defend, but you have to take something away, and you can't let her spot up.
Mitchell for the triple, and that is going to be out of bounds on the catch on the sideline. We've seen that snake bite a lot of players.
You don't see many players step out of bounds anymore. They've all worked on it so much.
It's interesting with Sabrina, when we were talking to her about what she works on in the offseason, she acknowledged that teams are going to force her into the paint, and she really has done a better job of finishing. Doesn't get it to go that time, but has been solid throughout this game.
You see, that's the way you defend her. Lexi Hull, long closeout, make her put it on the floor.
Clark over Burke. That's going to be long, and Stewart with the rebound. So Clark now 0 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, there's a recalibration that's getting ready to take place.
And then Jones fouled as she was going to the cup. And Tiffany, Caitlin,
you know, in their game against Atlanta, that they had a deep bench. They were able to be versatile and find other ways to score, even though they were missing that part of Caitlin's game. But she said it's a fine line. We need Caitlin hitting threes, and we know teams are going to gang up on her. So in those times, the message to Caitlin is to let us help you and work to get in position.
So space, screen, angles, timing, all of that important, but you're not going to change the way you're going to defend Caitlin Clark, because she sees a big basket, she can rattle off a couple in a row.
Yeah, can correct itself at any time. She's got the 8 assists, 7 points. Mitchell this time turning the corner, fends off the defender. What a finish for Kelsey Mitchell. And then Hull just melts on the screen. Jonquel Jones setting a solid one. And then Jones, her 3 is short. Clark will retreat the dribble this time, resets it with Boston. Howard, who had a very quiet first half because of foul trouble, double teamed, and that's going to be a foul against the Liberty. With one hand able to catch, bring it in, and go right back up. Boston now with 19 points. She's 9 of 10 from the field. Jones back-to-back threes, no good. Here comes the break. Fever moving. Clark nearly lost it. Oh, the pump fake, left-hand drive, fading away, off target. A battle down low, Howard gets tangled up. Popping up this Indiana defense, and that's gonna be batted. It's a foot race, Cloud sprints ahead, and an easy lane, so a heads-up play on the jump ball. You wonder, too, with Howard's presence, as another backdoor cut is good. Oh, slicing through the D.
That 90-degree cut on the baseline. Lexi Hull so good at it. And Natasha Howard does a really good job of dribbling right at Hull's defense.
Burke whips a pass to Jones, pats it over to Stewart. They go around the horn, but can't complete the 3. Mitchell up ahead, bounce pass just outside the reach of this. Leonie Febish is questionable with a left shin injury, the typical starter. We haven't seen her since midway through the second quarter. Ionescu tied up, but a foul called.
And you have to make sure you guard the player in front of you. It's really important to keep him in front.
Sabrina directing traffic. Stewart, pump fake, puts it on the deck. 1-2 step with the left, and a whistle against Howard. Clark, Boston, Howard, Mitchell, and Hull on the floor for the Fever. Cloud, Jones, Burke, Stewart, and Ionescu. Boston taking her time, kicks it back out to Hull. Stop it, pop it, hits the midi.
Really good job staying active on the weak side, cutting and moving, keeping the weak side defense occupied, and then just a nice turnaround jump shot by Hull.
How about the game for Lexi Hull? Gets the start this afternoon, 14 points, 6 of 8 from the field, and a monster collision. Jones, tough defensive plays, it's hustle plays, it's finishes at the cup from other players, and talks about the supporting cast around Caitlin Clark this year, that she doesn't have to shoulder the whole load. Boston, the floater, popcorn's in. We've got a 2-point game.
I mean, that is the best action, and it delivers. Caitlin's vision and her timing on the delivery, Aaliyah Boston, her ability to catch.
New York led by as many as 15 in this game as Cloud skates to the cup for a much-needed 2.
She has the best plus-minus on the team for New York. At halftime, she was plus 16.
As we mentioned, just a seamless fit for the culture and court fit for the Liberty. And then this time,
I do think Indiana's picked up their energy on the defensive end.
6 to shoot. Cloud up top. Boston defending. Cloud trying to get into the back. Poked away by Mitchell. Mitchell racing ahead. Gets right by Stewart. And Indiana creeps close.
This is where New York's championship pedigree can come in. Can they handle the adversity right now? This crowd is in it.
And a foul against Bonner. Where is the counter punch from the Liberty? Stewart trying to go baseline, 6 to shoot. Burke trying to get open. Stewart to Jones, carves out some real estate, can't get it. But an offensive rebound for New York. They'll reset. Jones again down low, this time just whipped down by Sabrina. Sheds her. Oh, a little witchcraft from Ionescu as she gets to the cup.
That's where that fitness and extra strength comes into play. Can handle that contact.
Clark has been 0 for her last 11 from 3 as she dishes it off. This time Mitchell trying to fight through the contact. Clark left open. Is this the one? No. Off the heel. Bonner volleyballs it free. Here's Hull, the drive. It opens up. Hull right to the cup and draws the foul. Los Angeles at Las Vegas. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. First free throw off target for Lexi out and let them play at different times on the floor.
Well, and they're good together also. They definitely bring a defensive punch. And, you know, right now Indiana's picking up again, full court pressure. I think New York needs to get Stewie going.
Johannes, step back triple, rainbow 3, no good. Jones chases it down. Hull forced to the backcourt. Ionescu no good on her long attempt. Clark with the rebound as she pushes it. Hull trying to spot up, kicks it into Boston. Boston back to Hull. Hull, tough shot. Jones reclaims the board. And now Burke will handle the show, and Burke gonna dribble it off her leg.
It's over with.
The gravity is always present with her, and you've talked about how defenses have to stretch so far down the court. Here's Mitchell, sets her feet. Mitchell raising the 3, and we've got a tie ball game. Burke cutting, and a foul. Well, live CBS Monday, watch the American music. Burke misses the second. Bonner with the rebound. 1 point, New York advantage. Clark sees 2 defenders, spin dribble, draws 3, loses the handle, turnover, New York back the other way. Sabrina spots Stewart, lines up a 3 off target. Batted a lot, bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense, goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. Stewart driving and picks up the foul, but you mentioned New York handling this crowd, their experience. How can they really just stabilize themselves right now? Because they're no longer shooting that 74% we saw them shooting early on. 0 for her last 12. We go back to January 13, 2022. That was 141 games ago when she was a sophomore at Iowa. She's never had 2 games in a row where she has not made a 3. Yet here we are, Indiana trailing by just 1.
To go back to your point about New York, I think they need to solidify their defense right here. Contest the shots and then move the ball on the offensive end.
Clark wants to clear out. Jones trying to keep up. Mitchell to Boston. Baseline buddy. Bounces in. And the lead goes back to the Fever.
Making the extra pass.
It's the 18th assist. Ionescu no good on the 3. Swatted out of bounds. And that'll shot, no pass shot possessions for New York. Clark, step back 3. Oh, she hit it and draws the quarter. Still a lot of basketball left. What do they have to think about here?
Well, nothing changes defensively except for you ratchet up your effort even more. I do believe Breanna Stewart is going to have something to say about the end of this game. She did have a quiet third quarter.
In the last minute and 4 seconds of the third quarter, Caitlin Clark hit 2 threes after being 0 for her last 12 dating back to the last game.
See, that was a quick 7 points.
Mitchell, the three, no good. Boston chases down the rebound. Finds Howard and an easy 2 as the Fever now lead by 10. Cloud crashing through the defense. Mitchell straight ahead, and misses. An easy lay-in, bookmark that, and Cloud still slow to get off the canvas. As she is hobbling now on the baseline. Ionescu trying to dance, flips it over to Stewart. Her three, no good. There's a lid on the rim right now for New York. Clark to Boston. Mitchell coming off the handoff. Mitchell draws 2, back to Boston. Can't get it. Howard right there. Indiana all over the glass. Timeout, New York.
Basketball. He's from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
I'm sure he's got a nice little jumper to go with the ball swing as well, too, as Jones gets a much-needed 2. And Tiffany, let's check in with you here.
Hey, guys, I was just listening into the Liberty huddle, and you could see from Coach Sandy Brondello that there was a calmness about her, but she spoke with a sense of urgency there to tell this team to focus on what they can control and believe they can do it. You guys know they've got that veteran.
To steady the tide of this game, Jones spinning, whirling, twirling, and a foul.
To Horns, and you know what you can get. You've been successful scoring in the paint against Indiana, so you go right back to it.
It's the 5th foul on Howard. Jones now with 15 points, 10 rebounds. The Liberty 20 of 25 from the free throw line. And you get the sense New York, they are battle tested. They have no problem trying to walk back in the Indiana Fever. Cunningham now will initiate the offense. We saw this earlier in the first half. Clark flaring.
Showing zone.
Howard, catch down low. Howard right through the contact.
Really good
big
ball
bucket.
movement. Really good. Reversing the ball against the zone.
It's the 20th assist for the Fever. Stewart puts it on the floor. Mitchell comes over with the double. Burke will try the 3, no good. Clark can't get it. Cloud racing to it, and a heads-up tough play from Cloud.
Smart play by Natasha Cloud, doing a really good job of reading that ball off the glass and being aggressive. New York's got to get more aggressive.
Got the first step, and this time Cloud pokes it away. Bounce pass threads the needle. Stewart and New York inching closer to Cloud 9 right now as they trail by 6. Natasha with a couple of big plays for them. Clark, step back, has Stewart dancing, the 3, no good. Rebound to Boston. Clark right to Howard, scoops it a little too strong. Ionescu with the board, and Cloud now just jogging behind the rest of the players, pulls up, trails, thinks about the 3. Stewart, what a catch as she creates the separation. They
use who to get the ball to, when and where, and it takes time to figure all that out. What can Natasha Cloud do? Natasha Howard.
Jones bodies a couple of defenders, gets the offensive rebound put back, and just like that, it's a 4-point game.
And to that graphic, Stephanie White told us they are trying to figure out different rotations and combinations.
Boston nearly lost it. Clark right there to pick up the change. Boston fouled by Cloud. She was trying. Boston fakes the pass. The hook shot, no good. Sabrina not wasting any time getting it down the floor. Nearly traveled. Gets it back to Jones. Jones, long 3. And we have got a 1-point game. And the New York Liberty. And I'll come for the Fever now.
Well, I think you need to keep Caitlin Clark with the ball in her hands in the middle third with Aaliyah Boston. That's the best action they run, with Kelsey Mitchell in the corner to be able to shoot 3s.
Mitchell, a courageous 3, no good, off target, and New York can take the lead on this possession.
I mean, once Caitlin Clark gave the ball up, New York didn't let her get it back. And with Lexi Hull back in the game, you bring a little more defensive energy right now.
Jones sizes it up. Oh, Jones with a massive three, and New York has taken a 2-point lead. Clark to Boston. Boston dumps it off to Hull. Boston this time gets it back. Boston patient, trying to 1-2 step. Jones, excellent job of standing straight like a statue.
Staying vertical. Jones so dangerous at 6'6" in the trail position for three.
Sabrina, baseline jumper, can't get it. Ball bops around and scooped up by the Fever.
I think that's too quick.
Mitchell to try take the lead. Back, rolls out. And Stewart takes a hard collision from Cloud as they were both chasing down the board. 4 minutes remaining. New York 2-0 on this young season. Indiana 2-1. Split a pair of games against MVP.
And she just delivered commencement at GW, which is her alma mater.
Sabrina stop and pop off target. Bonner will secure the board. Indiana is scoreless on 7 of their last 8 possessions, trying to find the rhythm once again. Clark well defended by Cloud. Tough fadeaway jumper. And Stewart with the rebound.
Let's go, Dee! Come on, Dee!
If you can keep Sabrina on the left side, you want to keep her on the left side.
Stewart clears some space. Cloud thought about the corner three. Back to Jones. 6 to shoot. Jones with the mismatch. Free throw line jumper too strong.
I thought she could have rolled Clark a little bit deeper into the paint on that.
It's Boston, the pump fake. Stewart goes crashing down. No whistle. Boston fighting for the ball. And a big time finish to tie it up at 84 apiece.
Still in May, right, Jordan? It's still May.
The tenacity of Aaliyah Boston feels like a playoff game right now, I'll tell you that much. Both these teams want a seat at the table. Amongst the elite this year in the WNBA, New York trying to repeat. UNESCO finally, after a couple of misses, it's a clutch jumper.
I mean, that's the way you got to guard her. That's just how good she is. Good offense beats good defense.
2-point lead for the Liberty. Just under 2:30 left. Clark working with a little crossover dribble. Slices through the defense and a finish with the right.
Let's go, Dee!
Who can get the next stop? Sabrina with Boston on her. Pounds the rock. Sabrina right to the cup, draws the foul, and she'll head to the cup.
She is such a great three-level scorer and can shoot it with great range.
Misses the first, though, so UNESCO has a chance to give New York the 1-point lead with 1:56 remaining. Keep in mind, New York 1-9. Make that Indiana 1-9 in their last 10 games against the Liberty. There's a fourth quarter comeback last July in which the Fever got the win, and she missed them both. Tie ball game.
That rarely happens.
This crowd is on their feet. 2 screens for Clark. Jones defending her. Clark trying to get to her left. Spins, picks up the dribble. Boston cutting. What a find by Clark. No whistle. Jones cutting ahead, and a foul from Clark behind, and that will send Jones to the free throw line. Indiana still hanging on that coach's challenge as Jones hits the first free throw, and now
I would not let Caitlin Clark catch the ball right here. Yep, Natasha Cloud's going to get right on her. Indiana's going to call timeout, though.
timeout Indiana. 2-point lead for the Liberty, who are trying to remain full.
Made some plays. Stepping into a trail 3 where she is so good, and inverting to the block where she is.
Jones has 16 of her 25 points here in the second half. Clark able to get the catch out of the timeout. And what does Stephanie White draw up here?
Well, you go to middle third late. Boston and Clark go to work.
Boston fouled as she goes up. They're going to get... First one's good. Had just 6 right now. She lines up the second attempt. We're tied in Indianapolis, and this crowd is on their feet as we take a look. Clark sitting on 5 fouls. Keep an eye on that. Cloud to Sabrina. The three rolls out.
What a great...
Bonner, what a big rebound. 1 minute left. Clark to Boston. Boston flips it up, no good. Tapped alive. Cloud chases it down. Under 50 seconds left to play. Rolls out again for Sabrina.
Two great looks. Kelsey Mitchell looks at us and shrugs her shoulders like, wow, she missed two.
He's going for the kill shot on both of those. Now a timeout on Boston with the catch, and they're going to let Clark initiate it. Mismatch with Jones on her. Tie ball game. Clark, step back three for the lead. No good. It's a race to the ball. Stewart falls to the floor, and it's ruled a jump ball. Floors, Boston and Stewart. Boston controls it. Bonner picks up the dribble. 9-second differential between shot and game clock. Tie game. Clark gets to the hip. Clark dumps it off. Bonner blocked at the top. No whistle. 1 second left on the shot clock. 10.4 left in the game. This crowd wanted a foul. Now it's a catch and shoot.
You got to catch and shoot right here. And Caitlin dropping it off when she had a chance to put it up herself.
Strike to try and the Liberty 2-0 on this season. Battle back from 15 down.
The second shot too, you got to make sure everybody boxes out.
Cloud the catch, back to UNESCO. Sabrina turns the corner. Sabrina the bump and draws the foul with two.
I would wait till she looks like she's ready to shoot free throws, then I'd call it.
Does not call the challenge. First free throw's good, and New York takes a 1-point lead. Indiana with the reset timeout. Clark checks back in. Sabrina, who's been so clutch for the Liberty, hit that big-time three in the finals against Minnesota on the road, and now a timeout for Indiana. The reset timeout. You can't huddle, you can just advance the ball.
Yeah, so Caitlin Clark's probably not going to inbound the ball here. She's going to be the one they want to inbound it to. And Natasha Cloud's going to be draped all over her.
Cunningham to inbound. Here's your final play of the game.
You got time for two dribbles.
Screening action down low. Clark has to get open. 1 second left. Clark doesn't get the shot off. Cloud. The Indiana Fever hosting the New York Fever and the defending champion Liberty.
When they do it, they cannot.
Starting lineups, and for New York,
The 4 spot now.
and we start our contest where they set the WNBA single game record for most.